Since the dawn of time, humanity has looked beyond the veil of life, searching for answers to the ultimate question: what lies after death? Ancient scriptures speak of radiant heavens where light never fades, and of shadowed realms where sorrow has no end. Between fire and glory, between despair and eternal hope, lies the destiny of every soul. Tonight, we journey through visions of paradise and nightmares of damnation to witness the eternal struggle of heaven and hell. In the stillness of life's final breath, humanity is met with the oldest of mysteries. What lies beyond the veil of death? Every heart has wondered, every mind has wrestled, every soul has trembled before the silence that awaits. And from that silence, faith and imagination have painted two eternal realms: heaven, radiant with the promise of joy, and hell shrouded in the shadows of despair. The journey begins with the threshold itself, that fragile moment when the mortal body loosens its grip upon the soul. Ancient voices whisper of a passage, a crossing of rivers, a walk through valleys, a gate that must be approached. Some spoke of angels who come like gentle guides, their light cutting through the darkness, lifting the soul like a child carried home. Others warned of shadows lurking at the edges, waiting to seize the unprepared, dragging them downward into unseen chasms. In every tradition, the transition is a path, and that path leads either upward into light or downward into shadow. To those who look heavenward, the vision begins with light. A city gleams in eternity, brighter than the sun, for it is written that in that place no sun or moon is needed. The very glory of God illuminates all things. Streets of gold stretch endlessly, yet glisten like glass. Gates carved from pearl stand open to welcome the redeemed. Rivers of living water flow from the throne, cascading through gardens where the tree of life grows once more, its leaves said to heal nations and souls alike. Countless angels rise and fall in worship, their voices blending into harmonies no mortal tongue could sing. Thrones gleam in the distance, crowned with radiance, and the faithful walk clothed in white, never again touched by pain or grief. But the vision is not only of golden cities. Heaven unfolds like a boundless kingdom of wonder. Mountains gleam like crystal. Meadows sway with blossoms that never fade. Vast oceans sparkle with light, not water but living essence, reflecting the endless joy of the Creator. Souls who wander there are met not only with beauty, but with peace so deep it silences every sorrow. Joy so full it overflows like a cup that cannot be emptied. In heaven, time loses its chains. No fear of ending lingers. Love remains, perfected and eternal. Yet even as the soul may dream of these radiant heights, another vision lurks at the edges. For hell, too, is spoken of with fire and shadow. In Scripture it is called Gehenna, the lake of fire, the place of eternal separation. Imagine a valley where flame consumes but never ends, where the air trembles with cries that echo without ceasing. There is no light of dawn, only the glow of burning coals that give no warmth. The ground cracks and groans beneath unquenchable fire. In some visions, it is a pit without bottom, souls falling endlessly into a depth that never resolves. In others, it is a prison of chains, guarded by dark spirits, where sorrow and regret weigh heavier than stone. But hell, like heaven, was imagined in many ways across the ages. Some saw 9 circles of torment, each tailored to the sins of its prisoners, where icy winds, boiling rains, and monstrous beasts awaited the condemned. Others described deserts of ash, where shadows wander without rest, thirsting for waters that never appear. Some told of a frozen wasteland, where even fire could not warm the damned, their cries silenced beneath endless ice. And others feared the abyss as a place not of torment, but of emptiness, a void without love, without light, without God. Perhaps the greatest torment of hell is not the fire, nor the beasts, but the absence of hope itself. Yet long before these grand visions, the earliest beliefs of the afterlife were shadows and whispers. In the Hebrew scriptures, the realm of the dead was called Sheol, a place of silence where all souls descended, righteous and wicked alike, waiting in darkness. In Greece, the dead wandered Hades, crossing the river Styx under the watch of Charon, weighed by the scales of judgment before entering fields of bliss or realms of sorrow. In Egypt, the soul stood before the throne of Osiris, its heart weighed against the feather of truth. If found light, it was welcomed into eternal fields. If heavy with sin, it was devoured by the monster Ammit. Across cultures, across ages, one theme endures. The soul is judged and destiny is decided. This weighing of the soul, this final accounting, is a vision that has never left humanity. Scripture speaks of books opened, of names written in the book of life, of deeds revealed before the throne, angels as witnesses, the judge enthroned in brilliance, the destiny of nations and individuals alike decided in a single moment. Some see this judgment as a courtroom, solemn and absolute. Others see it as a revealing mirror, where the soul confronts the truth of its own life, unable to hide behind excuses or masks. Whatever form it takes, it is the threshold between heaven and hell, the moment when the soul is shown its eternal home. In the heights of heaven, the soul may rise through realms upon realms of glory. Some visions describe endless stairways of light, angels ascending and descending, carrying prayers like sparks of fire. Choirs thunder across the skies, yet every voice is distinct, every praise a jewel in the crown of eternity. At the center sits the throne itself, brighter than lightning, encircled by emerald rainbows, thunder rolling beneath. The Lamb stands at the throne, wounded yet victorious, his light outshining all suns. In this kingdom, joy is not merely felt, but becomes the very atmosphere, the breath of eternity. But in the depths of hell, the soul may descend through layers of sorrow. Imagine vast caverns where rivers of fire coil like serpents, where towers of iron imprison multitudes, where bridges of bone stretch across abysses of despair. Demonic figures stalk the shadows, their forms shifting like smoke, their eyes burning with malice. In some visions, titanic beasts rise from pits, gnashing chains and crushing souls beneath claws of stone. In others, it is silence that rules. Silence so profound it drowns the cries, a silence born not of peace but of abandonment. In hell, the imagination of humanity has painted both horror and emptiness, both fire and void, yet all agree. It is a realm where hope does not dwell. And so the story turns to the final judgment, when heaven and hell are not merely destinations for the dead, but the climax of history itself. Scripture speaks of the heavens rolling away, the earth trembling, the dead rising from graves as seas give up their lost. Thrones are set, books are opened, and all creation gathers before the judge. Angels and demons stand as witnesses. Nations are weighed, time itself ends, and in this vision, eternity divides, some to everlasting joy, others to everlasting sorrow. The great river of humanity split forever into two streams, flowing into light or into darkness. Yet even in the shadow of judgment, debate has always stirred. Is hell eternal torment, or is it destruction, the soul consumed until nothing remains? Could love itself, even beyond time, reach into the abyss and bring redemption. Some voices whisper of universal salvation, where even the deepest darkness is finally healed by divine light. Others hold to the fire that never ends, the separation that can never be undone. Between hope and fear, the question lingers, unresolved, shaping the way each soul trembles before eternity. And so the narration closes not with certainty, but with mystery. For no mortal has crossed the threshold and returned with final proof. Only glimpses, only visions, only whispers carried down through scripture, tradition, and imagination. Yet one truth endures. Every soul stands on a journey. Every heart beats toward its final horizon. Heaven, the place of light and peace, where joy is unbroken and love eternal. Hell, the place of shadow and despair, where hope is absent and sorrow without end. Two realms, two destinies, two eternal mirrors of the choices of life. And as the ages pass, the question remains, when your journey ends, when the veil parts and the path is revealed, where will your soul awaken?